feel bad about it, but yeah, that's bad. You should not do that.
Well, too bad. Did it twice.
That's the problem, is that you did it more than once.
Or is it the problem?
Yes.
Shit.
Cody, did you buy your Apple Vision Pro?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, that's right. I didn't because that's stupid.
No.
That's not nice.
Hey, well, facts are facts, bud.
Are they facts, though,
Yeah,
bud?
yeah, yeah. They serve literally no purpose.
I mean, you could do a lot with them, I'm sure. You could
Yeah.
find a use for it.
See?
Joe is
obviously
sure.
it's not going to be Netflix. It's not going to be Amazon Prime. It's not going to be Twitter or X or whatever you call it, or Instagram, or any of the other top 40 apps of the App Store that apparently don't want to even allow their app to be
Abby.
what?
They don't want their apps to app.
They don't want their apps to app. Yeah, so apparently, the reason why I brought this up is because, yes, the Apple Vision Pro went on pre-order yesterday or the day before, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've already sold through enough that their initial ship date, which would have been February 2nd, has already slipped to the next month.
Oops.
But yeah, it came out that so the top 40, I believe it was the top 40 apps for the App Store, which include Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all those good ones there. Not only did they decline to make an app for the headset, it has the ability to just emulate, I guess, like the iPad version of an app,
Mm-hmm.
and companies even decline to just allow their apps to be emulated.
Makes sense.
My daughter's calling.
Oh, hi.
Good for you. Yeah. So I'm not surprised, but I guess I'm a little surprised on the one hand, because you'd think that anything Apple, people would, companies would be like, hey, let's, make apps for it. But it's also kind of like one of those things where it's a very niche product anyway.
Yeah.
So you would think that, hey, yeah, right now, most companies probably don't want to throw money into development of something that they don't know if it's going to be around. If this is just going to be a one-off thing that Apple does and never does again. Even though I'm trying to think of a product that has been like that from Apple in the last decade or so.
I mean, I don't think they've ever had a one and done.
Yeah, they usually do end up, because at first HomePod seemed like a one and done thing, but after a few years they did innovate on it and make it a bit cheaper with the HomePod Minis.
Yeah, and then redid the HomePod in general.
Redid the HomePod and HomePod 2s, and even now rumors have it that they're going to release a HomePod, another HomePod that has like a screen on it. So thinking something along the lines of an Amazon Alexa, or what were the Google Home or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
The speaker with the screen on it, whatever. But the other thing is like, yeah, you can have it if you have. I believe it's just limited to iPad versions. So if you had an iPad app, you can essentially switch on compatibility. So it's a little weird that companies just don't go, oh, well, like we don't have to develop or anything for it. We just have to switch on compatibility. But after thinking about it for a little while, it's like, yeah, but then if they run into issues with it, like, do you really want to have to field troubleshooting calls and stuff from people for a product that you don't even really technically support?
Yeah.
I imagine that if it becomes more popular, it will actually get full on support. But right now, yeah, it's weird that they don't have it, but it's also like very niche right now.
Oh,
So
extremely,
it's
yeah.
one of those weird things that I see.
Disney Plus is going to be on it though, apparently.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
There you go. I thought the article that I had read said everything within the top 40. Maybe Disney Plus is not in the top 40 yet.
It's right here. In June 2023, Apple made a splash with its announcement of the $3,500 Apple Vision Pro augmented reality headset. For details on what the device offers, uses blah blah. Click on this link. I don't care. It says, as a result of that partnership being beginning on February 2nd, 2024, Apple will be offering Disney Plus subscriptions who own a Vision Pro and a new way to stream entertainment at no additional cost. Apple claims it will feel like watching a movie on a 100-foot wide screen through Vision Pro.
Which I can believe. I mean, they showed that off in their press conference. Mostly with the Apple TV Plus stuff, but yeah.
So, are these holdouts people who want to charge more for using their app on there? Because this makes it sound like... Because this says that Apple will be offering Disney Plus subscribers who own a Vision Pro a new way to stream entertainment at no additional cost. Interesting.
That is worded very weird. Like, just because you would have the device, you would have to pay an extra fee to use the device. But read it again.
So it says, as a result of the partnership, because it says here, at the time of the announcement, Apple hinted that it would be partnering with Disney to provide entertainment content. It says, as a result of this partnership, beginning February 2nd, 2024, Apple will be offering Disney Plus subscribers who own a Apple Vision Pro a new way to stream entertainment at no additional cost. Apple claims it will feel like watching a movie on a 100-foot wide screen through Vision Pro.
Did they call it IMAX?
Right. I wanted you to read again because maybe I was just missing the point where maybe they were hinting at that you get like a free subscription with Apple. But yeah, reading it again, no. It literally, it's a dumb way to put it, honestly, but it just sounds like, yeah, we're not going to, if there was any thought out there that we would charge you extra because you happen to own this device, rest assured, we're not charging you extra to use it on this device, which is dumb way to put things. But yeah.
So there's actually going to be stuff in it that's not that's actually for Vision Pro or augmented reality. It says at launch, viewers can access one of Disney Plus environments. Each environment includes animation and sounds that will make the space feel alive, and Easter eggs from films and franchises that will surprise and delight fans. We think that remains to be seen. That's a weird editorial at the end of there. It says available only on Apple Vision Pro. Disney Plus subscribers will be able to stream the entire catalog, including thousands of TV shows and films, plus access to Hulu content for eligible Disney Bundle subscribers from iconic environments with vivid details, including Disney Plus Theater. This is inspired by the historic El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. Scare Floor. This is from Pixar's Monsters, Inc. Marvel's Avengers Tower, overlooking downtown Manhattan. The cockpit from Luke Skywalker's Land Speeder, facing a binary sunset on the planet of Tatooine from the Star Wars galaxy. Then it says 3D movies. As part of being able to be watched Disney Plus content, users will be able to watch select Disney Plus movies in 3D. This enhances both the immersive and storytelling experience on a screen that looks 100 inches wide with spatial audio. First off, they went from 100 feet to 100 inches. That's a downgrade. Some of the movies users will be able to experience in 3D include Avatar and Avatar: Way of Water. Avengers Endgame. Was that in 3D?
Yeah.
It must have been, yeah.
It was.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Elemental, and Encanto. Additional Disney Plus 3D titles will be announced for a later date. And it goes on to say that the Apple TV app will support 3D movie purchases and rent.
Okay. So, a couple things from there.
Okay.
One, I can now see with the inclusion of themes and other things the reason why they're staying at no additional cost.
Yeah.
They are putting extra effort into this app to work specifically with the device. So I can see where they're saying that, hey, all this stuff is not like downloadable content for a price. It's literally extra free stuff. So I can now see where they're saying at no additional cost to you.
And it has a new UI. It shows a picture here of the Disney Plus UI with inside the Vision, and it's got a new menu.
Which would make sense. Like, yeah, you're literally designing. You're not just porting over the app from the Apple TV or the iPad or anything. You're literally making its own AI, or it's a UI for the device, which is pretty cool. I think I brought this up before because obviously when they announced it, they announced that they'd be able to do 3D movies and content. I wonder if this gets popular enough and you see enough people doing 3D on here that it will bring back the popularity of 3D and bring back the ability to get content in 3D.
Content, yes. Popularity, no.
You don't think so?
So what'll have to happen is other people who have augmented reality systems, the what is it called now? The Meta Quest Go and the other one they have both have augmented reality capabilities now because they have front-facing cameras and camera arrays. So content availability, I can see being more because also in this article it says additional titles will be also available. It's a terrible way of putting it, from Apple TV Plus and Max.
So I want to roll that because obviously a lot of those companies already own 3D movies.
Well, yeah, because it was all the rage.
Obviously we're releasing there, but I'm talking about going forward as well. I wonder if more content will be made available in 3D. To append on to that, for those who still have been clinging on to their 3D TVs, I wonder if the Apple TV currently, are you pointing at me?
Yeah. On my screen, I'm pointing at you.
On my screen, you're pointing at Taj.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Wait.
No. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to remember where you. Cause,
I'm the little picture.
Yeah, on yours.
Thing, so.
On mine, you're the big one, so I have to part down.
Yes.
Dirty.
Exactly.
This one.
Sorry.
The question for me then comes up, those who have been hanging on desperately to their 3D TVs, oddly enough, I actually have two. Now that I think about it, I have two computers. I have two monitors in here that are capable of 3D. My old PlayStation monitor.
Gross.
You shouldn't be proud of that.
Too late. I already am. Anyway, it's actually not hooked up to anything right now. My brother took the Apple TV. That was
What a son of a bitch.
I know, right? Can't watch anything in my dining room or my kitchen like I always used to.
Son of a bitch.
I wonder if current Apple hardware, the Apple TV, is capable of outputting a 3D signal so that those who have a 3D TV could take advantage of the 3D content that they're going to be allowing on the Apple Vision Pro. Or if not, then the next iteration of the Apple TV, because it's been a while, right, since they've really released a big revision of the Apple TV that had any good real, besides just a small spec bump.
Capability increases or anything like that, yeah.
Yeah, 4K HDR.
Features.
So if they do release something like that, would you think that they release the version that could access those 3D movies and content for those who still have a 3D TV?
I mean, yeah, but also, I mean, I would see some of the companies doing the retro fit for 3D as well.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean that happened. Obviously, a lot of movies that came out in 3D were not shot in 3D, but then, you know,
post-processed.
Post-processed. I did see in this article, besides just a bunch of editorialism that I don't really care about, because that's what I want my news is, your opinion. It says here, at launch, Apple says users will be able to access more than 150 3D movies from Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, and Max. So Max is apparently on the headset as well.
Well, yeah, okay, so Max is on the headset as well, which is interesting. So that means that Again, either Max wasn't in the top 40, or there were some exceptions
To the blanket statement.
to the blanket statement of that I had seen or read. Yeah, so that's cool. Maybe too, because I don't have the article up in front of me. Maybe it said at launch. I wonder if this is going to be an at launch thing, or if it's going to come like shortly after launch.
Hold on. Let me see what this exactly says. Disney Plus actually has a whole website for the Apple Vision Pro.
Okay, so that sounds like they've been locked.
Yeah.
Locked and ready to go. Because you lock it.
Oh, well, this says, yeah, at launch, Apple says users will be able to access more than 150 3D movies. So, literally on the 2nd of February, when the unit launches, you'll have access to 150 3D movies through those services.
I really want them to just give me the ability to watch 3D movies, to stream 3D movies, or download 3D movies. Maybe not stream. I can see that being a taxing thing to do, although someone now has markings on their street for Wired.
Yeah, buddy. I have it. It's fantastic. You should
They
get
went
it.
through. They went through like a week ago and marked the actual markings on the road, like in front of our house. But then, like yesterday, they went through and actually marked the sidewalks into people's yards.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that means that probably within the next week they'll start construction and rolling things out. So
Yeah, mine was about a week or so out from when they marked everything. But they did my whole neighborhood, though. They marked my entire neighborhood and started in one corner. And then in like 3-ish weeks, they did the whole area.
So within the next couple of weeks, I can see them actually rolling things out. So someone else is going to have gigabit up and down.
Hell yeah,
someone
dog.
else here that I know.
It's fantastic.
You know who it's not? It's not me.
Yeah,
Because I don't live in a house.
this is true.
Because Phoenix sucks.
Phoenix does suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
You know, it's messed up too. Taj, you're on in the area that's the border of between being able to get Google Fiber and Cox Fiber, and I think, and maybe even Quest. I'm not too sure, but you're like falling in the area where like it. I believe you're in the area where it doesn't exist on either. Or you're like not on either side. You're like, I can't get it.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, because basically it
fantastic
follows on the
news.
line of like 2 or 3 blocks from the 17 and the 101, that area. Just can't get it because of the infrastructure, because of the hills that are right there.
Makes sense. It's very dense.
Yeah. So they have to either come in from the west and then bring it that way and then stop, or they have to dedicate an area right in your position to actually like put it make that like the central area and make it go out from there, because the mountains make it impossible to get through it because you don't want to go over it.
North Phoenix really does suck in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. I appreciate its centralness. That's a word. But outside of that, trash panda.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so I don't know what streaming 3D movies looks like. It might not be a feasible thing, but I know that there is storage on the Apple TV. I don't remember how much storage it is, but it's a couple hundred gigabytes if I recall right, because they meant to have you be able to download and play games locally. So just give me the ability to store, a 3D movie fits onto one Blu-ray disc, which is a dual-layer Blu-ray disc, is 80 gigabytes or something like that. Allow me to download that over my gigabit connection here, which will take me a couple seconds to do. Especially when I have it, especially when it's not, it's Ethernet. Like that product itself
Hardwired.
is actually hardwired into my router. So I just need the fiber, drop to the router, and then bam.
Bam.
It would take seconds.
Bam. And did I mention
Bam.
bam?
Bam. Exactly.
Justin, lest you bitches forget.
Bam.
Bam. I get it.
Speaking of downloading things too, when Indiana Jones game comes out, I'm gonna download that thing so
That's
fast.
also gonna bam.
That's
Had,
also good.
did you? Well, no, they haven't announced a date yet. I was like, did you see if the
Not a specific date. They
game?
announced. I thought it was a month. I thought they announced what month.
I think it just said 2024. At least the videos I watched.
It looks. Ooh, that is Indianga.
And Indiana.
Okay, like movies.
Data Jones.
Dr. Jones.
The trailer looked awesome. The whip play looks a little wonky to me, but I guess it does say expected to arrive sometime in 2024.
Yeah, I never saw a date.
I thought there was something that said at least a month, but Slash Film says just 2024. CNN doesn't even give it a time. Who else is trustworthy here? I don't know.
No one.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe Screen Rant. But it looks. Obviously we're seeing probably pre-rendered, footage and very select things. But it looks really good. It will be, since it's a Bethesda game, right? Bethesda.
Yeah. Well, it's Machine Games, but Bethesda produced. Yeah.
But Bethesda produced, so it'll be available. Yeah. Okay. This Screen Rant also says just a vague 2024 release. So I must have just been, thinking positively.
Projecting,
thinking positively, whatever.
thinking positively.
The whip play is the only thing that looks a little weird because he throws his whip out and it just kind of has this kind of look to it.
One more time.
Kind of look to it.
That's exactly what I thought too.
Yeah.
Truly.
And then it just wraps around people, which is pretty funny, and you can pull people in with it.
Part of the story is he has a sentient whip.
That's what
A sentient whip.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of looks like.
Get out.
Yeah, it's like kind of like what was that fucking? And there was an anime where it doesn't matter, but basically it communicates through his palm and reads his brain waves through his skin and can react to it. So then it knows exactly what to do. Like he's like, hey, thinks I want to get this guy by his leg, or whatever Joe said, and then it grabs the dude's leg, and then he can yank the dude or whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah. Did you watch the? I didn't send it, but did you watch the presentation they did, where they showed some Machine Games talked about making? It was like a 13-minute video.
I just watched the trailer itself.
Yeah, they debuted. That's basically where they debuted the trailer. Was part of that when they did the thing, and then
there was a whole conference that they did to show off some games that they have coming out.
Yeah.
That was Indiana Jones, and then 4 other things.
Yeah, it's all smaller developers within Microsoft Games. Yeah, it was. They talked about it. Obviously talking about different details. Obviously, one thing they talk about in that they don't show in the gameplay, the few clips of gameplay they had, was you actually be able to pick up downed enemies' weapons.
Okay.
So you have the whip, you have his trusty revolver, but you can also pick up a gun or something from downed enemies as well.
Sense. I doubt that they're going to give you infinite ammo on the.
Indy's got a gun.
Whoa. Copyright.
That's-
We can't afford.
Aerosmith.
We can't afford that type of stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Aero-
Even parody we can't even afford, man. What's wrong with you? I ain't got Weird Al money.
Yeah, right.
What's wrong with you?
He ain't trying hard enough.
Joe, while you were talking, I didn't want to interrupt because you were talking about something different. I wanted to see if there's a service or something you can stream 3D movies.
There used to be. I don't know if it still exists.
So I didn't find one, but everyone was talking about this.
Voodoo used to be able to do it.
And Fandango used to have it too, if I remember correctly.
Well, they used Voodoo, didn't they?
They might have, yeah, might have been through them. But this thing talks about something called Big Screen.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, Big Screen was that thing where you could rent. Did you own? No, you rented this box for thousands of dollars, and you could get the latest latest movies that were in theater in your house, but its content was incredibly locked down. I didn't know it supported 3D, if that's what it is.
This is not that.
This is not that. Okay.
This is an app.
Shut up.
This is something you can get for VR headsets and AR headsets that let you watch 3D movies through your headset.
Oh yeah, that I've known about. I can go. Well, I was gonna say I could throw a DVD, a Blu-ray in my computer, and then realize that I actually don't have a computer with a disk drive in it.
Nerds.
Me. But yeah, no, I've looked into that in the past where I can rip my movies using some sort of MKV 3D codec or something like that. There's a whole thing to go. I went down that whole rabbit hole to see if it is convenient and feasible to rip all my Blu-rays and make them playable on my TV. Ultimately, I think the conclusion was it's doable, but not easily doable, because there is so much customization that you can do, even down to the point of like, how is it ripped into 3D? Is it like, God, it's been so long. Something about right and left. You can change like whether it's like 3D right and left or up or top and down. It was a whole thing to go down, but it only works on 3D headsets. I don't have it. Well, technically, I do have an Oculus Rift, but I also just want the ability to do it on my TV.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I just saw this because everyone's like, "Oh," and then I realized, and when I was reading through it, and it said it was for AR VR headsets. But I was looking at this other one I found was a website that lists 7 top visited 3D movies download sites for movie buffs. But it's just talking about downloading them. It doesn't talk about streaming them here.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I'd have to really research into it to see if it is a feasible thing that it doesn't, for some reason, have to take up more bandwidth or this or that, or what the quality would be, or is there like timing? Because obviously part of the thing with 3D is you have to get the timing of whatever 3D is that you're streaming in. So that the left and right or however your TV works doesn't go all wonky and whatnot. And again, I might be talking out of my ass on that one too. I have no idea. I'd have to re-research all that. That was a long time ago that I looked into all of that. I just kind of gave up on that train because I thought 3D was dying, but maybe it's coming back with Apple.
Aquaman 2 was available in 3D.
Dude, sorry. What'd you say?
Aquaman 2 was available in 3D.
What?
Aquaman 2.
Yep.
The stunning movie Aquaman 2.
Yep.
Aquaman 2. Okay. It literally just occurred to me halfway through my sentence there. Monarch 3D.
Oh.
Don't give me an erection right now.
What?
Nothing.
Please don't get that on me.
I'm gonna mail it to you.
Oh.
For the most part of those shows, like, probably doesn't need 3D, but then you have the Titans come out, or you get sucked into the underworld.
Yeah, I was gonna say Titan Moments, Underworld, or Under what they call it? Shit.
I can't remember what they called it when they went into the
Yeah.
down world.
But
whatever, like, just those moments in 3D would be fantastic. And since most of that was CG anyway, probably wouldn't be too hard for them to go back through and do.
Didn't they call it Underspace?
Underspace?
They might have called it Underspace.
Yeah.
But yeah, since most of that is post-process, is 3 CG anyway, then just go back and just post-process that shit. Just I'd totally rewatch Monarch Season 1 in fucking 3D.
I would, as long as I didn't have to wear a fucking headset for multiple hours.
All of this, obviously they said that, hey, we're doing spatial sound and everything. That's really cool. But I guess one thing I wonder is, are you able to use the Vision Pro? No, now that I think about it, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't be able to do it. Obviously, a lot of people might be able to get a better video experience with the Vision Pro than probably what their TV is, especially if you can get it in 3D. spatial audio, which is pretty good. It doesn't beat like a full-on home theater surround system. So
No.
Not much does though.
so like the ability to have the movie playing through your Vision Pro, but the audio playing through like an actual home theater system, I wonder if that is a possibility.
Depends where you're getting it from. Because I don't think, other than Bluetooth, I don't think there's any audio outputs on the headset.
Which is true. So, like, you would almost have to be streaming it through an Apple TV. The Apple TV handles the audio, and then it just pushes the video to your...
Like a handshake.
Or maybe even like an AirPlay type thing.
Yeah.
The audio section is AirPlayed off to your home theater system, Apple TV, but the video is streamed directly or played from your... I guess that would be possible. I don't know what the quality of that would be.
They would have to... Well, the quality...
Because is it going depending on how it goes, like especially with AirPlay, I honestly don't know how that Blackmagic works. Is it like if I were to take out my phone right now and AirPlay to my receiver, is that skipping through my phone to the receiver, or is that just a direct connect to my receiver because my receiver also has internet capabilities? That's what I'm getting at. Like I don't know. Or if or replace receiver with Apple TV. Is it hitting my phone and then going to the Apple TV?
Yes.
Or is it just going, oh no, you have an Apple TV that's connected to the internet. Let's just go from internet to Apple TV.
No, it goes from your phone. So when I was traveling for work, I brought my Apple TV with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would AirPlay stuff because their internet was trash most of the time. Actually, all the time. I never had any good internet in any of the places we were at. So I would have movies on my iPad or on my phone, and I would just AirPlay it through the Apple TV onto the TV there, and it does play from your phone or iPad, and then plays through on the Apple TV, so nothing ever loads up on there. You can turn obviously the screen off of your device, and it still plays, but it's still playing through your phone and just projected. So you could do it that way, right?
But I wonder if you run into like weird audio issues or drops in audio quality.
It would have to be, the timing is actually the biggest thing.
Because you have extra steps in there for processing and whatnot, so you'd have to really get that timing down.
Yeah, the AirPlay would be backwards though. It'd be very interesting because it would be, well, not backward. Well, it would be backwards because the video would still be playing directly in the headset and not from the Apple TV. So, I mean, it would be, what I would think is you would have the option, if you have an Apple TV, 4K, whatever, you would be able to AirPlay the video to your headset with the audio being processed through the Apple TV. You know what I mean? So it'd be backwards versus from the Vision to the Apple TV. It would be from the Apple TV to the Vision. So the Vision would be like your television.
I start this on my Apple TV, and then I click AirPlay to my Apple Vision, and then maybe have the option of either keep audio here and then just switch video there, or do audio and video, which would be weird to me.
Well, I mean, if you want to do airplane mode, like you didn't want to bother someone in the room or whatever, you can watch your movie with audio and headset.
It'd be weird just because why start it on the Apple TV when you can just do it through the headset at that point?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to have to download it to the headset and you already have it on your Apple TV, you could just do that. Like remote play from like your Xbox or PlayStation to like your handheld. You'd be like the same idea. Laying in bed, your significant other is asleep and you want to watch a movie instead of turning it on and like leaving the volume down or whatever, or wearing headphones. You could literally just pop your Apple Vision Pro on or your headset of choice, and then watch it through that and be like, oh, I can see the biggest screen possible and whatever, and have your headphones in and hear your spatial audio and watch your big ass fucking screen in your room without bothering anybody other than like you having to turn your head to see fucking action, because 100-foot screen is not something you can see. I mean, 100-foot screen is like a drive-in if you're in the back row. But if like you're in your room, it's gonna clip through walls. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be like tennising it, watching a movie. That sort of thing. Can you imagine having subtitles and that shit too, trying to read? Like, every time you move your head, the screen's moving. You're like, shit, no, I need to read.
So here's a question that that I probably thought of before, but who knows?
Okay.
So I'll pose it again. Let's say, because obviously, I believe, I say obviously, there's a feature within the Apple TV Plus that you can watch with friends.
Is there?
I think there is.
Keep
You can look it
speaking.
up while I'm talking.
Yep.
I'm talking about my pie in the sky thing, and then you can answer my question as well. Because my question is, let's say that a year down the road, Apple says this has been popular enough that we can release not only a cheaper version of it for maybe Apple Vision Pro 2 that's going to be our expensive version, but maybe they release a stripped down version that ends up being like $1,000, and it has the ability to not only play games with friends but also to watch movies with friends. Because that's obviously something that we used to do. We don't really do a lot. On the basics of it, would that be something that you would be interested in doing, with the ability to, us, that we can't physically get together really very much anymore to watch movies, but we could get together with a VR for $1,000 to watch movies?
If we all just shucked off $3,500 each.
Or would you have to wait for a more? Well, I'm saying $1,000 because obviously that at that price point, is it not worth it to you? Or if it had the ability to play in theaters movies at the headset for $1,000, even if you're paying some sort of extra fee for in theater movies, like maybe you still are just renting $5-10 for that in theater movie.
I mean,
would that be worth it for you?
It sounds cool. Besides the fact I don't want to wear a headset for 2+ hours. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a pretty cool idea. And apparently you can share play to watch, listen, and play together in FaceTime on iPhone.
Yeah, you can already do it on iPhone. We could literally watch whatever movie that we want on, and I think you can actually do it on Apple TV as well. You can literally watch a movie or show with everybody. But while you can do that and you can interact with the other people who are watching, this is more of a substitution for in real life, rather than just I'm watching a video with 2 other chatters with me, I guess is the best way I can explain it. You could be in the VR and look around and there's a virtual representation of Taj. There's a virtual representation of Mike, of you, of Paige.
Can I customize it? Because I'm a little chubby right now. I like it.
You can customize your profile. Yeah. Of how you look.
Yeah. That's what we need.
That's what I'm wondering. If they brought it down to $1,000, would that be worth it to you? If it had all those features.
You're asking Cody, or are you asking
both of you?
The group.
I want to say yes, because ultimately it's another way to interact with people that I enjoy spending time with.
Imagine if we did the podcast over Apple VR.
I don't know. Oof. Man.
I would virtually throw shit at you.
An app that you can do that you can have 3D character representations of all of us, and it's a podcast then that you could sit in on and interact, not necessarily interact with, but your audience could sit in on you and your VR characters. Basically, we're now I'm spacing out on what the VTubers, but we're AR tubers or something like that. But you could have the audience sit in on it. I think this is a brilliant idea. I like this. Let's do this. First AR tubers, and your audience with AR headsets can sit in on you talking about the random stupid stuff that you do.
So it'd be like a live podcast, but in virtual
You
reality.
could also do it like a live podcast as well.
That part would be fun.
But it could be recorded to the point of where an AR person just has to hit play and they can sit in on a 3D environment.
And just have a
Looking
surrounding.
your-
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Looking around in your world that you've created, but it's just a 3D video, essentially. Boom. It created the future.
There you go, Joe. Send a strongly worded email to Apple.
Dear Tim Apple.
Tim Apple. I think that's his real fucking name. And I don't think you're on first name basis with Tim Apple, so it'd be Mr. Apple to you.
Don't you assume that Joe doesn't know?
First off, Joe don't know. If Joe knew, his laptop would have updates.
Yeah, only cool people don't get updates.
That's right. I did find this. So I doing the research of looking for Apple TV SharePlay. There's apps that support it, like Disney Plus, but there's no function other than the Apple TV app using FaceTime on your phone or computer or iPad. But there's nothing through the Apple TV itself, even though I'm pretty sure Apple TV now supports video calls.
They do.
So
you have to use your iPhone for it. I haven't
yeah.
tried it yet, but yeah.
So I think that would do it, but I couldn't find anything on there that said it did that. It just said
Right.
that the SharePlay option sends it a link via FaceTime, but it's on your phone, not the Apple TV.
So the Apple TV doesn't actually support it. Okay. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I get it to a certain extent, but it's dumb.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it's
then
dumb.
what was really annoying is the fact that like they showed pictures of the Apple of the phone doing it through the SharePlay, and there's like imagine you're watching a video on your like phone, right? 1/3 of it is the person you're on the phone call with, and a little box that floats over the actual picture. And I was like, nope.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
That's why I'm saying, like, if you could do it this other way, where it's more natural, you're like sitting in a theater, but
Yeah.
avatar representations of the people that you want to watch it with.
Like back in the day when they used to do the share or the watch party thing on Xbox, where you like your avatars are sitting in a movie theater,
Yes, exactly.
and you can Mystery Science Theater 3000 it.
Yeah.
As all people should do at least once in their lives.
Yeah, for sure. I did find this article earlier while you were talking. I forgot about it. From Mac Rumors, which I still hate because like they also talk news on there. It makes you think it's not real news. Anyways, so this is a list of pre-installed apps that are optimized for Vision Pro, and a list of pre-installed apps not optimized for Vision Pro. So the optimized ones are the App Store, Encounter Dinosaurs.
I think that is on the Oculus Quest. Or no, wait. Is it Jurassic Park or is it just generic?
It just says Encounter Dinosaurs, so I'm guessing
It's,
generic.
The Oculus has a demo that you can download for Jurassic Park something or other, and it's like a 3D, obviously 3D, interactive video that you can walk through and like look at dinosaurs and stuff like that.
Back in the day on I want to say it was the Rift had it. I don't think the Oculus had it. There was this demo that did basically like, it was 4 different experiences you could do. One was like standing on top of a bridge, standing on top of the Golden Gate Bridge on the very top, and you can like look into the city, and there's cars driving underneath you, and blah blah blah. But then the last one always scared the pants off people because it was like you were in like a museum, and all of a sudden a T-Rex starts chasing you down the hallway.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Pretty funny. But yeah, so I don't know. This one just says Encounter Dinosaurs. So I'm guessing it's some kind of thing like that. There's Files, which is a very odd thing to be optimized for Vision Pro. Freeform,
Files.
Keynote, Mail, Messages, Mindfulness, Music, Notes, Photos, Safari, Settings, Tips, and TV. And I'm guessing.
Sometimes it's a shame that we don't do this in video as well.
Oh yeah, Joe and I tried to play with that, and we just couldn't figure out a good way to doing it without having like actual cameras set up. and recording it and tying all the audio and video together without like high value production.
Is there a way to screen capture, this?
No. So that's the thing. When I was doing the research, and Joe and I were talking about this before, we tested it out. Every screen capture software, Apple, so FaceTime actually blanks out your video. It does not capture the video. As soon as you hit it, it's just a still image of what was going on, and that's it. It like kills it. It's fucking weird,
that's
dude.
A privacy thing to keep people from
Recording other calls.
I suppose.
That's technically wiretapping, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's still wire,
so
yeah.
You don't have full consent of all the parties involved, then it's technically like wiretapping. Or something.
Yeah. So Apple's like, no. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're just
And
we
that's
ain't
why
gonna
I'm
do it.
saying we all, Cody buys us all, no, not Cody, Paige buys us
Paige.
all Apple Vision Pros.
They're on the wish list.
We see about developing a software where we just become AR tubers, ARV tubers, VAR.
The letters,
We'll
so
spitball
many
it.
letters.
We'll spitball the name later. Tosh can be the anime girl that he's always wanted to be.
Wow, you just gonna out me like this?
I mean, it was you or Mike, and
That's so rude.
and then it's just sitting around different environments, talking about stuff. Record that somehow, and then people can just like with also rich people, or people with friends that are more well off than you.
People with dollars and cents.
Yeah, that have Apple Vision Pros can also just sit down and make it available to the plebs, and the Quest Pro and stuff like that. I don't know. We're spitballing here. They can just
Clearly.
sit down, and that's how they enjoy the podcast. Just saying. You can also release audio and maybe like a video version of it, but which would be cool because if you wanted to do a video version, you could essentially then set up a camera wherever because it's just a 3D space.
Right, it just rendered space.
Just a rendered space, and then you could just like sit there and be a director and be like, he's talking, blah blah blah, blah blah.
I mean, you could even program it to where when one of us talks, it zooms in on them
Zooms in on that person. Yeah,
because it is virtual cameras at that point.
that's awesome. That's what I'm saying.
It's not the worst idea you've ever had, Joe.
I know.
I will give you that.
Good job, Joe. Way to think outside of the box.
The VR box? Not a box, because it's not real. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know what we were talking about. What were we talking about?
That was my fault.
I was just listing the apps that were built into their optimized versus not optimized apps. Doesn't really matter. All that basically means is they have an interface that's improved over what you would have like on your phone or your iPad. Is essentially what it is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I just keep seeing all these pictures of people wearing the headset, and they just look so fucking dumb.
It looks a little weird. Like it's funny going from because you're talking about like the new stuff that's come out with the release, right?
Yeah, because people are actually testing it and stuff.
It's very weird to me going from the press release stuff to the actual wear. Like there is something that now looks goofy about people wearing the headset. To be honest with you, when they obviously did the announcement trailer, and you got good views of the headset and everything, and they showed off everything that it could do and whatnot. But for some reason, it's like almost like an Instagram filter. That looks beautiful, and then you see actual people wearing it, and you're like, that looks kind of goofy.
I think the biggest problem, though, Joe, and this comes down to the fact that, like, Apple puts, like, pretty people in their ads, and then you see these tech review people who are not people who should be on video or photo wearing them. It really takes away from it, you know what I mean?
Voice is what you're saying.
What's up?
They have a good voice, or they have the ability.
No, not even, most of the time they don't even have good voices. It's literally like they are literal face and voice of books. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be only be in print. It should not be photos, video. You shouldn't be able to see these people in real life.
Faces for radio.
Yeah, because this guy looks like a mix between a dwarf and Fat Joe. Not like Joe being fat, but like Fat Joe the rapper.
Okay, that narrowed it down. Thanks.
But his head also looks a fucking enormous. So it makes me think that the headset has a good a range of head sizes it can deal with.
Speaking of which, this is one thing that I did want to mention that I had found out, and maybe you can double check it while I mention it.
Yeah.
Is that in order to purchase the Apple Vision Pro, you have to have a newer iPhone or iPad. Now, at first, it sounds like really freaking weird. Why do you have to have an Apple, or at least an Apple? It sounds like at least an Apple product in order to do this. What people were saying is it's because it uses the what do they call it, the scanning feature for the camera to scan your face and map it, and then that's how they determine the gasket that you get with the device. I don't know how personalized that is. If it's just like, we say you're large or extra large or medium or whatever it is.
Or if you have glasses or whatever happens
to you.
Or
if you have glasses or whatever, we recommend, the $1,000 curls. Actually, I don't even remember if they had glasses add-ons. I don't think they did, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, that's how they determine what size of gasket that you should use with the device itself. But I wonder if it will, because obviously other manufacturers make that type of camera as well. So I wonder if it's not just limited to the Apple stuff that you have to use, or if you can use any device. Can I log in? Can I use my Windows Hello type of camera in order to purchase this thing? Does it integrate with that, or do I literally have to have an Apple device in order to purchase this device just because of that feature? It's really weird. Or I imagine that maybe I can go in store and buy it as well.
I don't see anything listed on the site for requirements for it.
But it was during purchase, not like.
So
that's
if
the
I
weird thing is like.
So if I hit pre-order.
Purchase it, yeah, if you try and pre-order it, it will say, "Hey, I have to scan your face in order to do this." So I wonder.
Oh, yep, it's right here.
Can you do it from your MacBook? Because don't the newer MacBooks have that type of facial recognition stuff in it? I have no idea. I don't own a new MacBook.
Neither do I. Can't help
But can you use Windows Hello just to get past that verification step, that virtual try-on step? Because I imagine you can just go into store and just be like, that won't fit. I don't know. But it was a weird thing that popped up as I was watching another tech YouTuber last night mention how they went through to purchase theirs because they're not in such good graces with Apple that they had to actually go purchase theirs from the website, and that it forced them to use an Apple iPhone or iPad in order to purchase, not necessarily because of some sort of verification process, but because they need to know what gasket that you use. Yes, you.
So I pulled it up on the website, hit pre-order. It says, "Hey, the best experience is through the Apple Shop app." So open it. I opened it, and instantly it brought up a thing saying, "Let's find your fit. We'll capture your angles of your face to help you get the ideal fit for your light seal and headbands." And then I can turn the camera on and get started for it. So that's.
I feel like it just said you had a fat face. I could be wrong.
No one wants to know how fat your face is.
It's not my withing scale. It's not that mean. God, that thing calls me fat every time I get on it.
Hey, you can do financing, Joe.
You up to 24% fat. Oh, nice.
You should get a new scale. That's nicer.
No, he likes the degradingness of it.
What is that, negative reinforcement or whatever it
yeah.
is? I'm so fat. I have to keep working out.
He needs someone or something to make his goals worthwhile.
Or children.
Yeah, so he needs something in his life to like work towards, so they makes that person or thing make him feel better, but they need to be mean to him first.
If no one is going to be nagging me, my scale has to be nagging me.
Yeah,
that sounds awful.
Joe, by the way, you can do if you're qualified, you can get 12 months financing for $291.58 a month to get your Apple Vision Pro.
Nice.
So essentially a car payment for 12 months to get a Vision Pro. Yeah, so
just what Joe was wanting.
So
Another
I don't.
headband.
I mean, I have I don't have a cool new phone. I mean, I have a 13.
13. Well, yeah.
So it let me
I
do
have the
it.
newest phone in the group. Jesus,
Yeah, you're welcome.
that's wild.
But yeah, it let me do it on my phone, so you don't need like the newest phone to
Yeah,
do
you
it.
just have to have a phone that supports the facial. I cannot for the life of me remember what they call it, but the facial snapping.
Yeah, anything that uses the face unlock
Stuff. Yeah,
thing is what it was, because that's what it was doing.
yeah, exactly. Did you go through it at all? Did it recommend a size for you?
No, because I have a headset on, and it's like, hey, we can't recognize your face. And I was like, well, I'm not taking my headset off right now because it's gonna make a lot of noise, and I don't want to do it. So,
Right.
but yeah, so I mean that point makes sense because they want to give you the right size of the headband and seal. Because if you do have a giant fat head like this dude here, you probably need a larger headband size. And no, I'm talking about the article, not over here. Over here. No, well, I mean, Taj doesn't really have a fat head, I would say.
Thanks.
You're welcome. But like if we were talking like Mike, for example,
And Mike's not even here to defend himself.
I'm just saying he has a, I don't want to say bulbous dome, but he does have a hard time finding hats that fit.
That is
That's all I'm saying.
That is a Snapple fact.
A Snapple fact.
Finding hats that fit.
And
That's
he
why
tends
was
to
looking
have those dig-in lines from
yeah.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying he might need to do that for sure before he orders his headset.
That's why he wanted to do a bucket hat for the longest time because it is the most loose fitting of headgear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
It
god.
also covers more,
Face.
around. Well, I mean,
Head.
around because you have no hair back there as well, so you need some protection back there, not just a build up here to cover this.
Joe, what's the
You
wire
fucking
for?
long-hairy elitists.
Oh, the wire's the battery pack?
Yes, yeah. So that iPhone 3G looking thing is a battery pack, and it's that chunky looking wire coming off of it is the wire for it.
Oh.
I don't know if it actually connects to anything else. I have yet to go on the Apple's website to talk about or to see it itself, but
Let's head on back.
from what I understand on their website, they kind of downplay the fact that it has a separate battery pack that is connected via cable that you, I don't know, put in your back pocket or something. It doesn't even look like it has any type of clip. It literally looks, the first time I saw that, I was
Take a
like,
closer
is that
look.
an iPhone 3G? It literally looks just like the back of that. But yeah, that's the external battery pack. I don't know if it has maybe any other connections to it. Maybe it has USB-C or something that you could maybe pipe audio through or connect to a computer or something. Maybe that's one way of connecting to the computer. Or
Oh, Jesus.
I have no idea.
Oh,
But I know it's
Jesus.
a battery pack itself.
The external battery supports up to 2 hours of general use and up to 2.5 hours of video playback.
Wait, what?
That's what it says.
So 2 hours of general use, but 2.5 hours of video playback?
Well, no, it says 2 hours of general use and up to 2.5 hours of video playback.
Oh, so
So 4.5 hours possibly?
4.5 hours total if I do 2 hours of office work and then 2.5 hours of...
Yeah, so you could watch almost all of Endgame.
Okay.
That's always nice.
I
Yeah.
thought that was really weird that it was going to say no, that you can only do 2 hours of like office work. Like somehow that was like
More taxing on the...
more taxing on the software than watching a video. I was like, Apple created some sort of new energy device here.
Memories come to life.
Energon cubes.
Well, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
because now you can really take advantage of because newer iPhones have the ability to do the 3D. I forgot what they call it. They don't call it 3D, but 3D video or 3D pictures.
Yeah.
So you could really play back those memories in 3D in with the Vision Pro, which is
Design. I don't care about the apps. I want to know. I'm trying to look at inputs and see if there's anything else on this because it doesn't say when it says on the specs inputs. It doesn't say anything about plugs. It just says voice, fucking movement and something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to find.
I think it'd be pretty cool, especially on newer Macs that might support. actually don't know the specifications on newer Macs, but they support like Thunderbolt 4. If you could plug that headset directly in and not only get power, because you do power delivery over USB-C up to 200 watts or something like that.
They have a terabyte version.
Of course they do.
It starts at 256, goes to 512, and then goes to a terabyte.
So that's actually a good question. Is it a blanket $3,500 for any size?
It says beginning at $3,500.
So $3,500 for what's the small size?
256.
For 256.
Yeah.
So it's probably $100 more for 500, $100 more for $200 more for $200 more than the $500 for the 1 terabyte.
Optical IDs, audio technologies, battery.
So $300. So that up to $3,700 is the most expensive one. $3,700.
Maybe I have to see if I can look at them.
Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything about. It says input is hands, eyes, and voice, supported input accessories, keyboards, trackpads, and game controllers.
But again, those are all wireless anyway.
It says connectivity and wireless, Wi-Fi 6, which is 802.11ax, and Bluetooth 5.3.
Oh wow!
It does not list anything about other than just using MagSafe charge case, a USB-C. It does say you can use it while it's charging though, so it's.
That means that you can.
You can get through Endgame.
You can plug it in.
Yeah.
Connect it to a wall.
And it wouldn't really heat up as much because the battery pack is separate, which is probably where the hookup for the charging is at. Because you wouldn't want to have your charger like hooked to your fucking head. It's obviously going to go to the battery pack.
In the winter, I might.
Well, I mean, if you're a
Or my head.
little bitch.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a Snapple fact.
Oh, video mirroring. Here we go, Joe. Up
Okay.
to 720p AirPlay for mirroring in your view in Apple Vision Pro to any AirPlay-enabled device, including iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple TV 2nd generation or later, or AirPlay-enabled smart TV.
Oh, so I'm AirPlaying from the headset to a device. But it
Nope.
will only I'm AirPlaying from a device to the headset.
Yep.
But it will only AirPlay up to 720p.
Yes.
Gross.
So
It's gross.
supports playback multiplies of 24 frames and 30 frames per second judder-free video. Supports refresh rate of 90 hertz, 96 hertz, and 100 hertz. Support blah blah blah, sensors, optical, blah 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 blah. So I did notice when I click on the pre-order, it says from $34.99, and then it gives you two options. The first one is get started. So let's make Apple Vision Pro personal to you, and when you click on that, that's bringing you to the store. Let's see if it gives me an option. I don't know. Get the fuck back there. Stop. I don't want to open that fucking app.
Keep doing it.
There we go. I want to see. There we go. No, that's just talking about that. Because down below, it's like grayed out, so you can't get to it. But it says, let's get a sense of your vision to see whether or not you need optical inserts.
Oh, so they do offer.
Yeah, so
Inserts
it
for
says here, Zeiss optical inserts for readers is $99. Zeiss optical inserts for prescriptions is $149.
You know, that's not bad. Not bad. Carl Zeiss lenses,
Yeah.
pretty good lenses.
Oh,
from what I
here we go.
understand.
Here we go. Pricing: $256, $34.99. 512, $36.99. 1 terabyte, $38.99.
I was actually really close. I nailed the first two, obviously. And a little off on the second one. Off by about $100.
And the financing is done through the Apple Card.
I don't have that.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
Just You okay?
Apple Care Plus is $500
I mean,
or $24.99 a month.
makes sense.
Unlimited repairs for accidental damage. Apple certified service and support. Express replacement service will ship you a replacement so you don't have to wait for a repair. 24/7 priority access to Apple experts.
To be fair, it's a bougie product, so you have to you really kind of do have to offer like white glove service for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would be fucking furious if I had to fucking wait.
Yeah, I do like. Before we go here, I did see a picture, a meme that somebody had posted of just bought my Apple Vision Pro. One day later, it has a cracked screen across the front of it because that's pretty much what a lot of people do is they drop their new device and crack it right away.
Yep. Well,
I thought that was pretty hilarious. But at least in this case, you know that if you buy the Apple Care, they'll send one out, a replacement out, before. If it's totally damaged, they'll send a replacement out before you have to send your replacement in. But I don't know. I kind of dig that they are going a little bit of a white glove service on it.
you'd hope with spending upwards of $3,900.
I hope, but a lot of their other products cost that much money, and they kind of don't really do that type of service on it. You take it into the Apple store, and they're just like, we'll have a couple weeks while we order parts for it. Anyway.
So that's the Apple Vision Pro nonsense. A spare Apple Vision Pro battery will set you back $200 for an extra 2.5 hours of spatial computing time. So the battery packs are removable, so you can hot swap them.
The only bit of removable battery in the Apple lineup.
So
True.
Good on them, actually.
it doesn't have a built-in battery, right?
I'm a little bit confused by that statement as well, because if you say that it is 2 hours of general use plus 2.5 hours of watching video, and then you say that you have replaceable batteries that'll give you
2.5 hours of spatial computing time.
2.5 hours of spatial computing time, does that mean that it is a smaller capacity battery, which would be a little weird? Or is there something funky that you're going on in that other statement there?
Yeah, I don't know.
An either or, not a plus type thing. We'll find out when people review it.
Interesting. Oh, no Spotify at launch? Fuck it, I ain't getting one now.
Yeah, right.
You know how much I use
Me. I don't think
Spotify.
it's sports title either.
What?
I don't think it's sports title either, so,
Oh no, sorry Jay-Z.
No. Yeah.
I don't want to wear a headset, bro. It's just so dumb. Anyways, that's all I have for that, but
Yep.
gross. Anyways, that's it for this week's Comes Naturally. We have been
Joe.
Taj.
I have been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.
I poop.
Really? That's what your outro is?
Yeah,
Joe says
yeah,
bye, and like, I have to poop.